Hey, this is Wayne Johnson with Anglers Habitat. You can find us at www.anglershabitat.com or give us a call at 208-454-8188. We're going to talk about fishing here in southern Idaho today in the Boise area. And today's date is April 2nd, 2011. We're going to talk about fishing, or what little fishing is being done on the Owyhee. And we're going to talk about steelhead fishing and other things to talk about. We're going to talk about Mountain View Reservoir over at the Indian Reservation. And so that's what we're going to have to be putting up with, since our favorite local river is unfishable. So Clint, what did we find out today about the Owyhee?
The Owyhee is as high as it's been in 5 years, Wayne.
Yep.
We peaked this morning at about 11,000 CFS. It's backing off now, running right about 8,000. Popular belief is that it's the most terrible thing ever because we can't go fishing. Maybe for immediate problems, but I also think it's a very good thing for the river. It's healthy for rivers to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think short term, yeah, it's not very much fun, but long term, I think it's going to be really good for the fishery. So,
Yep. One thing I noticed, Clint, was after the flood we had 5 years ago, which it got up to about the same level, is I noticed right after that we got incredible caddis hatches. We saw blueing olives. We'd never seen those before. We saw the PMDs came back in just numbers we've never seen before, and it's just good for the river to have a flush every once in a while. And I was making the comment last year to folks I was fishing with. There's just wasn't a lot of bugs.
the bug numbers were down last year.
Real down.
I think we'll definitely see an increase in, for sure, caddis flies. The stonefly populations will go up. One of the things that we tend to forget about that this summer could be very effective is crane flies. The crane fly larvae should come out of the woodwork, and so we may see some outstanding skating opportunities with those crane flies coming in the summertime. So
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about it. People are concerned that, well, this is going to flush the fish out. I'm here to tell you that most fish will just find a place to hunker down. They'll be fine. If anything, they're going to be pretty hungry when it all ends. They're going to take a lot of energy to stay in their holding patterns, but they're going to find places to go. It's no different than if you were outside in a bad storm. You're going to look for a place to hide out till the storm's over. You're going to look for, if it's raining bad and snowing bad, you're out in the woods. You're going to look for a nice pine tree to hunker down underneath it to get out of the weather. And if it's windy, you're going to find a place to get out of the wind. So the fish will be fine. And I think long term this will be great. And not only that, Clint, after the last flood we had a fly fishing class over there. People were catching crappie like crazy. So
Yep.
if for you guys that or people that know somebody who's just getting into fly fishing and they just want to catch fish, the crappie will be there pretty much all summer. They cannot stand that cold water, so they won't last very long there, but they will be there, and they're easy to catch. So I'm not promoting crappie fishing in the Hawaii by any means, but at least it gives you something to do. So now what we're going to talk about is steelhead fishing in the Stanley area. I just got back on yesterday. I spent a day or so up there, and the fishing was pretty good. It's getting better. Water levels are very low, so you're gonna, and I didn't see a lot of fish in the river, but there are fish being caught, and I had a pretty good day over there. What you got to do is get out of Stanley and go north of Stanley, go upriver, and downriver. I keep on thinking up because it's north, but you go downriver. And I started fishing about 10 miles out of Stanley and got into a pool of fish that I didn't know there was a pool in there. I didn't see any sight fishing, so I just fished blindly. But I know this one particular area always holds fish in the afternoon. And another thing too is that the water levels haven't come up yet, so your water temperatures are still pretty low. So the fish are just not moving in as we'd like to see, but they are coming. I suspect this next week it should be pretty darn good.
if the weather pattern stays like it should, it will be. Of course, as the weather warms up, we're also going to fight runoff. So
Right.
you're going to see a lot more fish early mornings up till noon. You're going to have the typical coffee-colored water in the afternoons with the raising of the river. By the next morning, the river will be back down again. Be patient. Look for good holding water, and you'll find fish. They're there.
Definitely. Now, I know you told me before I left, which made me leave. Clint had told me on Wednesday there's over 200 fish in the hatchery. Have we had any late numbers?
It updated today, and there's almost 300 fish in the trap. I believe the number was 297.
Right.
So there's been a little more of an increase in fish. and I think we'll continue to see that grow. So
Yeah, the nice thing too, by the way, is when I got there's nobody fishing it. From Stanley to the hatchery, I did not see one fisherman, not one. And there are some fish there, not in great numbers. There are some fish there. Sunbeam, in your typical areas where people like to fish, there was a lot of people at Sunbeam. And if you like that kind of fishing, those guys aren't fly fishing anyway. But even out of Sunbeam, as you go towards Chalice, I just didn't see anybody fishing. Very few people. I probably saw 10 fishermen all the way from Sunbeam down to Clayton. So very few people, and there are fish to be had. And not only that, there's whitefish. So I mean, you catch something.
one of the other things we definitely need to keep in mind was last year we had an extraordinary number of fish come back. This year it doesn't look like the numbers are going to be that good. They're going to be about on average. So we definitely got spoiled last year. We need to remember that the fish are there. We just may not see as many as we did last year.
Right. And if you have any questions about fishing up there, give us a call here at 454-8188. We'd be glad to answer it. Now, one thing to keep in mind, too, and I got caught in this situation, we checked that morning to see if the road was open. It was open, so I thought it was good to go. I left at approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon and started up the canyon on Highway 55, and guess what? Found out the road was closed, so I had to turn around. I called Clint just to double make sure. I did not want to go through Sun Valley, and the road was closed. So before you leave, get your most up-to-date information so it saves you that little detour. The Ketchum Sun Valley Road is going to take you about another, I would say another hour.
Probably about an hour.
Hour and a half. That road's in really good condition. There was no ice on the roads. The temperatures were pretty warm. When I got to Stanley, it was around 45 degrees, 50 degrees in the middle of the day. So that should be pretty good. Now, let's talk about Duck Valley. We got some reports on Duck Valley today. Clint has more information than me, but how's it going on Duck Valley? I heard one of the lakes is open.
They're all open now.
Uh-huh.
Everything that they have listed on the website is all lakes are open. All lakes are open to fishing as of April 1st. I think this is going to be a very good opportunity for the month of April with high water and high runoff. I think our still waters are going to be awesome. Mountain View has a tendency to produce some very large fish every year, and they're catching some. They did say the pressure was light, and I don't think very many people are going yet. But it's about time we have a year where we drag out our still water fishing stuff and get our float tubes out again. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. One thing to remember is the first time I went to Mountain View, I used a floating line. I didn't catch a lot of fish, folks. You got to use a full sink.
Definitely, a full sink, a sink tip at least. But this early in the year, I think the fish are still going to be pretty deep. They don't have any reason to be coming up. So you may even want to go with a Type 3 or Type 4 and really get down to those fish.
And I know the next time I went, I took a Type 3 full sink, and I caught beautiful fish. And my first cast, I caught a nice fish, and it was about, well over 20 inches. It looked like a football. And what a difference. And a friend of mine saw me go, and when I first moved here, and he said, "Oh, Wayne, you don't want to use that line." Well, I can get down to him. No, you can't. So I went to a full sink line the next time, and I did get down to him. So, folks, I hate to bring you that bad news on the Owyhee, but, it is what it is. And I think long-term we'll benefit from it. So if you've got any questions, again, check us out on our website, www.anglershabitat.com, or give Clint or myself a call here at 454-8188. If you're out of state, 208. And have a great day. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Perfect. I told him to get that today, so